80% of falls in the home occur in the bathroom. Don't put yourself or a loved one at risk. There's a safe bathing system for everyone's budget.
Enjoy a bathing experience that combines safety, comfort, and excellence. If assisted living is not for you, a BCI walk-in tub may well be the answer, giving you the safety and freedom to live independently. A BCI walk-in tub is the most affordable and comfortable walk-in tub in the market today. With our dual drain technology, your tub will drain quickly, and for those that still like the feature of a shower, our two-way bliss gives you both a handheld and overhead shower head. We offer the best financing in the industry with payments as low as $99 per month or no interest, no payments for 18 months with approved credit. For comfort, safety, price, and selection, it's got to be BCI Walk-In Tub. Be one of the first 50 callers and save $1,500.
Call 800-354-4377, 800-354-4377 for a free no obligation in-home consultation.
The Turnpike Sports Book Report is brought to you by BorgataSports.com. Your favorite casino is now your favorite sports book. Available anywhere in New Jersey, BorgataSports.com. Sign up at BorgataSports.com using our promo code PIKE, that's P-I-K-E. Make your first wager of $20 or more and you'll get $100 in free bets. That's $100 in free bets when your first wager on Borgata Sports is $20 or more. Get into the action with BorgataSports.com. Must be 21 years or older and in New Jersey to place a bet. Terms and conditions apply. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
And welcome to this week's edition of the Turnpike Sports Book Report, where we're going to be going through our state and national sports betting reports. Got a few numbers coming out of New York, Arizona, Nevada. We even got the first numbers for the very first week of the Bristol Casino. These aren't sports betting numbers. They're the casino numbers, but we'll go through those as well.
Great first week, by the way.
Yes, very good first week.
Yeah, very good
and
first
also
week.
we have our top 10 for May of 2022, now that Arizona reported their numbers.
Okay.
Then in the deals section, we're going to be talking some more Betfred, and also a deal that was just done by the Action Network. Industry updates, we've got a new trademark filed, so I thought I'd include it there. We've got an Ohio survey. We even got a policy update from the United States Equestrian Foundation, which is the Olympic trainers for the U.S. equestrian team. And we'll round up the legislative side of everything with Ohio, California, Kansas. And even though we're recording this before the end of the legislative session for Massachusetts, we'll talk a little bit about Massachusetts as well. So let's get started with some numbers. In May, everyone celebrated the 4-year anniversary of the repeal of PASPA in this country for sports betting. And at the 4-year mark for PASPA, the United States sports betting market crossed the $10 billion revenue plateau.
That's amazing, though.
And $1.5 billion in tax revenue. That's a really great number. $1.5 billion tax revenue.
These numbers are staggering. I mean,
yes,
everyone thought it was going to be good for the states who enacted laws that allowed sports betting, but they didn't think it'd be this good.
No. And again, it's not even, what is it? Maybe we're slowly approaching 2/3 of the country having legalized sports betting in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah, I don't know the official, was it
34, 35, something like that. Yeah. So, but we're going to be looking at 2022 right now with these numbers. Year to date, gross gaming revenue for 2022 is now $3 billion. Wow. That's for this year alone, the first 6 months through June. Also through June, the national handle is $45 billion. The actual number is $45,073,883,000, and change. Mm-hmm. Adjusted gross revenue is $2.5 billion. Adjusted gross revenue, not all the states, as we all know, do not. Not all the states take out the promos and deductions. So that's where the GGR versus the AGR come into play. The states that do deduct promotions, the adjusted gaming revenue has passed the $2.5 billion mark, and the national tax revenue has come in just over $600 million, and that's just year-to-date 2022.
And how great is that? The tax revenue is why states enact sports betting, and
yes,
it's also one of the reasons where I can't understand that all the states haven't enacted sports betting. But hey, it's still growing, and we'll see what happens. I guess everyone's waiting for Ohio. That's the next big story coming up. So
Yes. And now that Arizona has reported their May numbers, you know what this means. We got our May top 10.
Oh, okay, good.
Do you, like always, do you want to take a shot at this, or
The top 10?
Top 10.
Well, number one's New York. Can we just
Yes.
say number one is New
Yes.
York? Number two, the old standard is number one, New York. Number two, New Jersey. Number three, Illinois. Number four, Nevada. Number five, I'm going to go with Pennsylvania. Did I get the
you
top
got the
five?
top 5 right in order?
Did I get them?
Yes,
All
right in
right.
order.
Yeah, all right.
New York was the only $1 billion state.
Okay.
New Jersey, Illinois were the only two $700 million states.
Okay.
Looking at my notes here. Nevada, the only $500 million state. Pennsylvania just missed $500 million. They were $493.4 million.
What was number 6? Because
Arizona.
Arizona. I wasn't sure about Pennsylvania. Sometimes they do well. Sometimes they drop back out of the top 5. But
Well, again, you're seeing the effect of the slow sports schedule here, and all the numbers are down.
My God.
think you can say New York's down, but actually, New York's down quite a bit because
Well-
they were like hitting 1.5, 1.6 billion.
Well,
for a couple of months here.
I mean, I guess we're looking at the numbers of one of the slowest times in sports, and
Yes.
especially one of the slowest weeks in sports.
Yes.
I mean, if you're, I don't think there was real heavy betting on the All-Star game, and there's no other sports around it. So, you got some golf bettors on the weekends and things like
Well,
that.
you got NASCAR. NASCAR betting.
NASCAR in the wedding, but you don't have that
Yep.
week full of baseball.
No, you
So-
don't. No.
So it's going to be low.
But I'm waiting to see what the All-Star betting numbers were because there was betting on the Home Run Derby. There was betting on the All-Star game itself.
I didn't bet on the Home Run
So,
Derby. I didn't bet on
I'm
the
very
All-Star
curious.
game. I didn't bet on anything.
I'm curious because they always do this. I mean, the NBA All-Star game has betting on it. The NHL had betting on it. So I'm just curious to see what the Major League Baseball betting is like.
Yeah. That's the kind of bettor I am. I bet on the Nathan's hot dog eating contest, but I didn't bet on the All-Star game. How about that, huh?
Well, Indiana just rounded out the top 10. They usually are higher up than what they are, but they were number 10 this month. In May.
What is the top 10? I mean, we
We
gave
got
the
the top 5. 6 was Arizona. Colorado was 7.
Okay.
Michigan just barely lost to Colorado for the 7th spot. It was $356.1 million for 8th. Virginia with $351 million was 9th, and Indiana was $308 million for
Okay.
10th.
And that was for May. That's the top
just
10
May.
of May. All right.
We have to wait
and
until-
that's for handle.
Yeah, we're going to have to wait until August to talk June 2022 because of
Because of Arizona.
Exactly.
Yeah, because of Arizona.
Couple-
Taking their sweet time.
And with Arizona sports betting, a couple benchmarks came out.
Okay.
FanDuel became the first mobile operator in Arizona to surpass $100 million in revenue. Caesars, which this is interesting, Caesars experienced its first monthly loss on the retail side in Arizona.
Really? Okay.
They had a negative $1.02 million reported in terms of revenue for the retail side. Yes.
But Arizona did break a record, right?
Yes.
The tax record.
They had a tax record. Arizona also in Barstool Sports surpassed $10 million in all-time gross revenue in the state. WinBet cleared $50 million in handle for the year.
Okay.
So other than the tax record and some of these benchmarks, it was a down month for Arizona as well. And that's just part of the sports betting calendar here. Nevada, again, down for June because of the sports betting month. They had a couple benchmarks to hit. They had their highest baseball handle, monthly baseball handle. $294.8 million was bet on baseball in June. That's an amazing number.
Nevada had another record. They had the most rainfall in a sports book. Did you see
Yes.
that footage?
Yeah,
oh my God.
that was an incredible
What was that?
piece
It was
of footage
pouring
there.
out of the TVs in Circa.
Yeah, and I've never seen it.
Caesars had some water
I've-
problems and things
I've actually
like that.
never seen a casino flooded like that before. And you know what? Maybe they have something in place for when the sports books get flooded, because I saw Circa had water pouring into the floor, and it just I'm just wondering, do they have to shut everything down, or do they just shut that one area down where the water was
What
pouring
was
out?
fascinating to me, apparently Caesars had it, Circa had some water problems, but everything was on. I didn't see any blackness in the gaming floor. None of the TVs went out. They could have. I mean, I don't know, but the footage I saw, none of the nothing on the gaming floor went out. So so good for them, boy. I mean, they had water pouring from the ceiling, and still everyone was enjoying their games.
And one last note for Nevada.
Okay.
Mobile handle cleared $3 billion for the year.
All right.
Over in New York had some interesting numbers. They've had 5 straight weeks of declining handle. Now, they report their numbers weekly as well as monthly, but when you look at the weeks, they're 5 straight weeks going down, down, down. 3rd straight week of sub $200 million handle, which is kind of interesting. I guess that's the effect of the calendar as well.
Yeah. Well, look, I mean, just to put a spin on this, the New York numbers have been so high. I mean, it's just, when we say they're going down, they're still really good if you were in any other state in the union. So it's we got to, relatively speaking, it's down, but the numbers are still really good.
But this past week's handle was kind of noticeable because it's their lowest handle ever. It even was lower than the partial week when they opened.
Well, no Mets, no Yankees playing.
And of course, FanDuel had 43% of the market, maybe 45% of the overall market. But when you look at who the market is right now, in this past week, FanDuel, DraftKings, Caesars, and BetMGM all made up 94% of the market.
Unbelievable.
And that's just an incredible number. They basically have cut out everybody else in that state. So, again, New York is experiencing a little downturn. I'm very curious to see when August hits, see exactly how much the football season starts to impact it.
Sure. Well, this will be really the first NFL season for mobile sports betting in New York. So
they're looking forward to it, I think.
It should be great.
Quick notes on the Bristol casino. This is not sports betting, but they had their first week of operation, Bristol, Virginia. It will become a Hard Rock Bristol when the permanent casino opens up. According to the reports out of Virginia, more than $37.5 million was bet during the first full week of operation.
Was gambled, I guess.
That's slots and table games, yes. So. They generated $673,000 in taxes, revenue of $3.74 million. Almost 90%, maybe just a little bit more than 90% of the revenue came from the slot machines. They have 900 slot machines in the temporary casino right now, and about just under $3 million was bet or gambled at the table games and generated more than $71,000 in taxes for the state. And that's the first week.
I'd be very curious to see what a temporary casino looks like. Is it just like a warehouse that
think
they threw machines in, or what?
Everyone's going to be different.
I mean, I have to take a look if people are taking pictures of it, because I'm very curious to see what a temporary casino looks like.
Well, that's it for the numbers this week. Let's head on over to some deals. Now, I know this is not the full program of Turnpike Sports, but we're going to talk NFTs. We have, in the deal section, we have the Action Network doing an NFT deal.
Really?
And I thought this was kind of an interesting deal to talk about. It's done with the non-fungible token community Knights of Degen. I'm assuming it's a play on the word degenerate gamblers because it's really a lot of gambling in this as well in terms of what this group is. Knights of Degen takes place in the year 2088 at the Degen Tavern. It's a medieval-type sports bar set in the future. Go figure. I don't understand it
Medieval
myself.
In the future.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
That's how it's
interesting.
Looked.
All right.
And the NFT owners, they purchase or rent NFTs, and they are able to go into the tavern, and they're able to trade NFTs. They're able to bet on sports using NFTs, all socially. As well as get prizes and, basically anything you do in a sports bar, you can do at this tavern.
So where would you go to check this out? Would you go to I would guess the Action Network has a link to it? Or?
Well, you go to knightsofdegen.com.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
So they have their own website, but the Action Network is getting involved with this. They're doing it in terms of sort of a promotional aspect for the website itself for the NFTs. They're going to have live events. They're going to have meet and greets with some of the owners of the Knights, which Tiki Barber is one of them.
Oh, okay.
They're also going to be doing an NFL kickoff event together, and everybody who purchases a Knight NFT gets a premium subscription to the Action Network.
Oh, okay.
All their betting content.
See, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, so
I think
that's a nice deal right there.
I'm going to check that out. That sounds pretty cool.
So, there's I'm not a huge fan of medieval futuristic things that are
medieval
mixed together.
Future. Yeah.
Yes, but it's an interesting idea, and it's a great deal.
It piques everyone's interest. You know,
Yes.
I'd like to see what it looks like. So good for them.
Betfred
Okay.
announced a 3-year partnership extension with the Professional Darts Corporation.
Oh, okay.
They're going to remain the title sponsor of the Betfred World Match Play Tournament. This has been going on between Betfred and Professional Darts, or PDC, since 2019. They're going to be there for now at least 7 years total right now.
Well, Betfred's out of the UK,
Yes.
so it makes sense. I mean, darts, I always think of darts as a kind of a UK sport, so it makes sense.
Well, Betfred's one of those types of sports books that do deals on both sides of the pond here.
Well, first
We've
off,
got
they're legendary across
yes,
the sea.
yes.
So, yeah.
And they're huge in darts over there, too. Over here, we just saw them do the deal with the Bengals, and also I think they did a deal with an independent sports book or an OTB down in Maryland, too.
Yeah, yeah.
So they're making moves. They've got a activation tent over in the Broncos Stadium.
Oh, okay.
For out there.
Yeah,
so,
that's right. Yeah,
that was one of their first deals they ever did.
Yeah.
And they've always been at the forefront of some of these types of deals over here in the U.S. But the darts industry over there is so much more
developed.
That's a good word. I
Good
didn't
word.
know
It's the word
exactly.
developed.
I was looking for a word there.
Yeah.
But again, it's going to be kind of fun to watch that. I want to see the darts industry here develop just like it's been over there, because darts looks like a really fun game, or at least the way they televise it over in the UK.
I used to be able to know how to score darts. I don't remember it now. I mean, when I was in school, I used to play darts a lot, and I knew how to. That and bowling, I used to know how to score that. I don't know how to score it anymore. Maybe I need a refresher course on it.
Well, I'm just curious. I want to see some more televised darts in the United States, because it looks fun.
Yeah.
U.S. Integrity did a comprehensive partnership with MaximBet.
Okay.
As they're preparing to launch not only in more markets in the U.S., but also Canadian regulated sports betting markets. As you know, MaximBet's in Colorado. I believe they're talking about Arizona as well.
Okay.
They've got multiple jurisdictions throughout the U.S. Ready to go once regulations are satisfied and they're able to launch. They're in Ontario over the next several years as well, so we'll see exactly where they end up. But U.S. Integrity is providing integrity monitoring services. One of the best in the business, U.S. Integrity.
Yep.
So that's it for the deals this week. Let's head on over to some industry updates. This week's industry updates segment, we're going to start off talking about a trademark.
Okay, trademarks.
Yeah, we don't normally talk trademarks here in the book report. We usually save those for Turnpike Sports, the main program, but we have DraftKings filing a trademark application for a new game development corporation called Black Throne Studios.
Oh, okay.
It's going to be a subsidiary, it looks like, because it's a separate corporation. It's registered in Delaware, and it's going to offer electronic game development services, electronic casino game development services, casino game development services. That's the listing in the trademark filing, which could translate. And also, the Score just did their own tech stack for their platform, which allows them to provide more betting options quicker than other areas than if they were doing a third-party stack. So a lot of people are thinking this is going to be the company that develops the casino and sports betting platform stack for DraftKings, which is going to make them a lot more flexible in terms of what they can offer.
Yeah, because they're going to be all in-house.
Exactly.
There you go.
Exactly. Also, we have Play Ohio. Now, Ohio is going to be launching their sports betting industry, fingers crossed, January 1st. The law says that they got to do it no later than January 1st. So Play Ohio conducted a survey of Ohio residents to get sort of a feel for what Ohio bettors are going to be like. According to the survey, and they did 620 residents of Ohio. That's a good sample size.
Yeah. I read this. It's very interesting.
Over 90% said betting on a legal site is either very important or somewhat important. We know that's the case. It's hard to get your money out of a offshore site.
Sure.
Nearly 50% plan to bet 1 to 5 times a week, even though they don't know what the legal options are going to be. Okay. That's an interesting one. You're going to bet 1 to 5 times a week. Don't know what you're going to be betting on or who you're going to be betting with. But
I'm sure they have a good sense of what they.
I just wonder how many of that 50% are already betting right now on the illegal side. Just to see how many times a week they do there. More than half plan to sign up for a new sportsbook app once sports betting is legal. 80% of the respondents plan to use an online sportsbook over a lottery kiosk or a retail sportsbook. 25% said they would use a lottery kiosk, and 20% said a retail sportsbook. So, again, another state where I think mobile is going to be the key to everything.
Sure, absolutely.
Top 4 sports books that current bettors plan to use. That was kind of an interesting response, not in terms of who was named. It was the big 4, that in every state.
Can I guess? Was it FanDuel, DraftKings, BetMGM?
Well, I just told you it was the big 4, yes. Yeah, Are you talking about in order?
Well, no.
If you want to get the order, go for the order.
No. I got 3 of them. I can't think of the Caesars. Okay.
You have DraftKings 58%, FanDuel 52%, BetMGM 36%, and Caesars at 29%. Okay. The reason I'm brought this up is because it's the first time, and I don't know if this is really indicative of the market share that possibly could be happening. FanDuel is second place.
Yeah.
To DraftKings. So I don't know exactly if that's going to be the way the market's going to shape up, but it's kind of a good indication that DraftKings may have better brand recognition in Ohio already.
The one thing I'm curious about, January 1st, I mean, what is that launch going to look like? Is everything just going to launch? Is it going to be staggered? Is DraftKings going to go first? Is FanDuel going to be first? Who knows? I don't know what's going to happen.
See, I don't know. It sounds like it's going to be a shotgun launch where everything's just going to go. I don't know when the businesses are going to have their kiosks. I know. Okay. I know January 1st you're going to see the mobile and the retail books, but I don't know about the stadium books. I don't know about the kiosks in the businesses or in any of the other types of licenses they've been handing out. Because again, I don't see the businesses getting the January 1st. I think you would see the actual main industry going first. But again, shotgun launch could be very possible here. So. But that. Like I said, that was kind of a weird indication that maybe DraftKings, Ohio may be the tipping point for DraftKings to take a market share lead somewhere over FanDuel. Something to watch. Bet365 announced a new sports and betting news website that will be launching in the coming months here.
Great.
Customers are going to be able to read the latest developments in the world of sports. They're going to offer the site in several different languages. They're going to have previews, reviews, video content, imagery, interviews, betting tipsters. Basically, it's a news site.
Great.
And it's going to be branded Bet365. And one last update here. We have thelines.com. The Lines is going to be launching their sports betting app. It's in the Apple Store right now. The one unique feature of the Lines app, users are going to be able to link up their sportsbook into the app to tie in with the Lines free bet tracking tool.
Oh, that's cool.
So that's very useful.
Any tool that you get to track your bets, which is great, because if you live in a state and you place bets in different sports books, because you got to shop around to get the best price, you got to track them. So
and good for them. Also users of the app are going to be able to get all the content that you see on the Lines, including the podcasts that they do and news sites, all that.
Good.
So let's finish up with a legislative roundup. Finishing up with some legislative updates, we've got Ohio. More applications have been filed. Actually, I have to say it's just one application this past week. We haven't seen the updated list that was released on Friday afternoon yet, so there'll probably be more added to the list as we go along here. But right now, the previous week, Rush Street Interactive was the only applicant for a mobile management service provider license. They already did one before with one of the other casinos and sports team, but this is their first license for a mobile sportsbook by themselves.
Okay.
In Ohio. They're partnered with Hollywood Casino Columbus.
Okay.
Actually, this would be the second skin for Hollywood Casino because they've got the Barstool Sportsbook.
Okay.
As its first mobile management services provider. That's a big word. That's a big phrasing for skin.
Yeah. Ohio's going to be awesome, though.
It's going to be fun.
Great. It's going to be huge.
The one last applicant that everyone pointed out, and they're waiting for this group to apply, is the Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course, which is a NASCAR event center.
Okay.
They have not applied for a sports betting license as of yet. Mm-hmm. They are the only eligible professional sports venue in the state that did not apply. So it's kind of an interesting wrinkle. I don't know if they're going to, or maybe there's something else going on with that property. Maybe it has something to do with NASCAR itself. I don't know. But they have not applied. I'm sure we'll find out at some point. One interesting thing about the applicants for the sports betting licenses, there was a high school that applied in Ohio for a sports betting license, Aspire, which is a sports-centric high school kind of situation. And they've already made assurances that there will be no betting done on the campus.
All right.
They already actually have a location picked out for where they're going to be doing it.
Okay.
So it's not going to be on the campus of the high school. Very unusual situation there. I've never seen that before.
Very interesting.
Last note for Ohio, we have over 1,000 businesses in Ohio. We're not talking teams. We're not talking any kind of sports betting operator. Over 1,000 businesses, bars, taverns, bowling alleys, what have you. They have been pre-approved by the Lottery Commission so far. 1,000 businesses for sports betting licenses.
Wow, unbelievable.
Only 150 of them have taken the next step and applied. It's only $1,000 fee, so we're probably going to see a lot more apply at some point.
Sure.
And this is the businesses are applying for kiosks, not for tellers or cash windows, that sort of thing. Kind of interesting to note that this we're all talking about this launch in Ohio, and a couple reports have surfaced that the state has not commissioned the required disparity study of the industry. And that's one of the clear directives of the sports betting legislation. It's a precursor to launching. If they don't do this, they may not be able to launch.
Yeah.
So it's just weird that this
they'll get it done. It's too big of a thing happening in the state.
They got plenty of time. They've got September, October, November, December to do it. I just don't know exactly what the time frame required.
Just do a big phone survey and get it done.
Yeah. California, we have another group coming out in opposition of Proposition 26. AFSCME, the American Federation of State, County, and Municipal Employees, has come out against Proposition 26, which is the sports betting at tribal casinos. AFSCME is estimating that as many as 32,000 people could lose their jobs as a result of this proposition being passed.
Wow, really? Okay.
Well, it's casino games, roulette, craps. I think it has a lot to do with, the tribal properties. I think the fear is the tribal properties will be able to control who they can and can't hire.
Oh, okay.
So,
all right.
I don't know if that's a well-founded fear, but they're a union. That's what they're supposed to be doing anyway.
Sure.
So we'll see what happens there. Over in Kansas, the Kansas Lottery, everyone wants Kansas to start their sports betting industry by the start of football season.
Well, that's one of the big benchmarks.
Makes sense.
Sure.
But the Kansas Lottery has said that while that remains a possibility, it's not a real probability. it's not really probable that it will come to pass by September 1st.
Well, look,
there's a whole bunch of steps.
There's
to go
only
through.
a couple of weeks until college football.
Well, they've got a whole bunch of steps to go through, and they're still doing them.
Yep.
We'll see what happens. Let's finish up with a quick note about Massachusetts. At the time we're taping this, I do not know if Massachusetts has passed sports betting yet, because we're taping this a day or two before the end of the legislative session, July 31st. By the time this airs the Monday after that, we may have an answer in terms of whether or not we're going to see sports betting in the state. Right now, it seems like everyone's too far apart, the Senate and the House.
Well, I can tell you the people of Massachusetts are really ready for it. If you listen to the media here and, especially sports radio, I mean, they're really ready for it. They already have sports betting shows. Yes. The guys on the sports radio stations are doing their parlay bets of the night and things like that. And it's just and the retail areas are just ready for it. The windows are there; they're all boarded up. They just have to put people behind the windows, and they're all set.
You have both MGM Springfield, and Encore Boston Harbor both have sports betting lounges. Running, but they just don't have the sports betting part up and active.
Well, hopefully by the time this drops, they'll have sports betting, or they'll have some workable guide in place to actually have this thing going. So,
well, the heads of the three casinos did send a letter to the legislature and urging them to get a deal done, this compromise bill done, get it in front of the governor for signature. Again, the quote from the letter, since the availability of legal sports betting in 35 states nationally, including neighboring New Hampshire, Rhode Island, Connecticut, and New York, now means that no resident of the Commonwealth is more than an hour's drive from a state where legal sports betting is available.
Yeah, sure.
So with the revenue records these three casinos are setting now, I think they're itching to get this started.
Oh, yeah, no, they're ready. They're ready to go.
And again, they don't want to keep losing to New Hampshire, Rhode Island, and Connecticut, and even New York, because Western Massachusetts.
But hopefully by the time this publishes, they'll have a framework in place.
As you're watching us on TV, we may actually already have an answer for you. So, but again, that's it for this week's Turnpike Sports Book Report. Please keep the press releases coming in. info@turnpikesportsradio.com. If you've been watching us on TV, the ticker running across the bottom has been showing additional news stories. And as always, about maybe a half hour or so after this show airs, you will see a full print version of the Turnpike Sports Book Report up on our blog, turnpikesports.us. Click on the blog button and you'll see it there.
And that'll do it for us this week. We'll see you next time on the Turnpike.